Okay, how's it going, everyone? So today I'm going to show you how to build an AI wrapper with a generative AI, and we are going to build some sort of a translator. We are going to use ChatGPT API and wrap that into some kind of our own front end, and if the user just inputs some sentences, it will translate it for you to the selected language that user have selected from the select box. Okay, so we're going to do this with Codex, and we're going to do this with Skapi, and we're going to use GitHub. So 3 tools, and of course VS Code. But you don't need to know anything about coding or deploying servers or anything. Just plain English prompts, and right tools and right APIs, you will be able to build your own AI wrapper web interface. Okay, so let's just follow along. So first things first, we gotta make some repository in our GitHub. So click on this green button. So it's going to be, we're going to create a new GitHub repo, and let's name this into AI Translator. Okay. Always click on this add a README file, because this will help you to initialize your GitHub repository, and then click on create repository. Okay, so now what we have to do is we have to upload certain files in our repository. The first thing we need to upload is we need to upload the agent file. So agent file is kind of a guideline for our AI agents to read through and kind of have some idea or direction on how they should build our web application. Okay, so let's click on this add file and click on upload files. And when you see the screen, we are going to upload this agents.md file. So this MD file, this markdown file, will have just the basic guidelines on how they could use Skapi and how our web application should be built. I will just share this file on the description below, so don't worry. So just download the agents file from our description and just upload this file. So you could just drag and drop the file here, and yeah, agents MD. And also we need to add our Skapi API documentation file as well, because since Skapi is a third-party API, the Codex will not have any idea how to use the Skapi API library properly. So we have to download the whole documentation file and then add it to our repository as well. So where do we get our API documentation file? Go to skapi.com and click on this docs, and you will be redirected to our Skapi API documentation page. Once you scroll down here, and you will see for AI developers, and when you click on full markdown, this is where we can download the full context of Skapi API library documentations. So from here, let's right-click your mouse and click on Save As. Okay, so we are going to save this whole context as a single file. It's going to be skapi.md, and let's save that. For me, I'm just going to save that into my documents folder. So click on Save. Okay, now we have the skapi.md. We are going to upload this file as well. So let's back to GitHub page. Drag and drop your skapi.md file over here. And yeah, now I have 2 files ready to be uploaded, and let's click on commit changes. Okay, we have now in our repository we have skapi.md, we have agents.md, and readme.md is basically just the readme file that has no context yet. So we have 3 files now. And then what we have to do is we have to make some changes in the agents.md. In the agents.md, you will see this line. The service ID is something something, and the owner's ID is something something. So when we build any type of web application, we need a backend. So we need to create a backend from Skapi, and we have to provide the service ID and the owner's ID in the agents.md file. So let's go to Skapi and create an account if you haven't already. So create account, log in, and once you logged in, go to my services page, and let's create a new backend service here. So click on this create new service button, and let's name this AI Translator. Okay, and click on next, and we'll just do a free trial. Okay, once it's created, we'll see this page, getting started page, and here you will see you'll be able to get this service ID and owner's ID from this snippet. So let's just copy and paste that over to our agents.md, and we need to make some changes to this file. So to do that, click on this tiny little pencil icon. So you'll see this edit this file, click on that, and it will open up the text editor for you. So here, let's just edit this line, the 11th line on this file. So the service ID should be this one. Okay, and the owner ID should be this one. Okay. And let's click on commit changes. Click on commit changes, and we will have the updated agents.md file in our repository. So yeah, now we are, I guess we're all ready. We have our backend system ready. We have our repository ready. We have our agents files, and we have also uploaded the whole Skapi library documentation file in the repository. So now all we got to do is connect this repository to Codex. So let's go to Codex, click on Manage Environments, and we have to add an environment to be connected to our new repository. So, and of course, if you haven't already, do connect your GitHub organization, your account to Codex. So I already have. So make sure to select your proper account, and then from the list of these repo, you should be able to find your newly created repository. But since our new repository is not listed over here, so what we have to do is click on this tiny little link that says missing a repo. So let's click on this, and it will redirect to some GitHub setting page. And from the repository access, we have to give our newly created repository access to Codex. So click on this select repositories. Our new repository name was called AI Translator. So I'm gonna click on this. Okay, so I have added this new repository we just added. So click on save. And yeah. Okay, Timecodes updated. Okay, I guess it's all saved now. So let's go back to Codex and let's refresh this page once again. And we should be able to see our newly created repository from the list. Oh, there it is, AI Translator. So I'm going to select this one. Okay, and everything seems good. Okay, and let's click on Create Environment. All right, everything looks good. Click on Use This, and we are ready to start prompting. Okay. Oh, before we proceed, we also need to do one thing. Since we are going to use ChatGPT API and use that API to work as a translator, right? So we need to create our API keys in OpenAI API webpage. So let's go to OpenAI API website. Okay, and log into OpenAI API website. Let's go to API platform. Okay, once you have logged in, you will see this tiny little settings page. So go to that settings page and click on API keys. So here you could create your API keys to let your web application have access to your ChatGPT, right? So click on this create new secret key here, and then let's name this AI Translator, and create a secret key. Okay, and make sure you save your key. This is going to be displayed just once, so copy this key. Okay, and just save that somewhere. Okay, I'm just gonna save this in my text editor temporarily. And then, okay, once we have the key, we have to register this client secret key in Skapi backend. So let's go to Skapi. This was the dashboard page of our newly created backend. So in here, go to client secret key and then click on register client secret key. Okay, so let's name this translator and copy and paste the client secret key over here. Okay, and click on OK. Yeah, now our client secret key is saved in our backend securely, and we gave the name of the key called translator. It could be anything you want, but for me, I just named it translator. Okay, now everything's ready. Now we just need to start prompting. So here I have already written down my prompts. I will share that in the description as well. So let's copy this and paste it on the prompt. Of course, make sure you're on the right branch, right repository. Make sure the tick is on the repository that we are going to work on. And this is how my prompts is going to be. So I'm asking Codex to build a chat box where users can talk to their chatbot that acts like a language translator. And for chatbot responses, use Skapi's client request to make requests to OpenAPI's text generation and prompting API. The client secret name is translator. So this name, remember we set it up in the client secret key. So this line is very important. We have to tell Codex that our client secret name is translator. So this way, the Codex could put code to have access to our ChatGPT API without exposing any client secret keys. So client secret name is translator. The login should not be needed with the select input box above the chat box. Users should be able to choose the language they want to translate to. Put several language in the option, including Portuguese, because I like Portuguese. Okay, so everything looks good. So let's try to click on code and see what Codex gives us. Fingers crossed, be patient, and we could click on this over here to see what's going on inside. Okay, seems like the Codex has finished coding, and it had added some bunch of files and codes to our repository. You could review this code one line by line, but for me, what do I know about coding? So let's just click on this create PR, that stands for pull request, and wait for a while. It gives us certain loading animation there. So let's wait, and once it's finished, click on view PR, that's view pull request, and it will redirect you to the GitHub page, blah blah blah. Click on merge pull request and confirm merge. So what we just did is we have accepted the changes that Codex made and applied that to our repository. Okay, so back to our repository. Now we have several files added, and let's see if this project, once we open up and see if everything works fine. Um, of course, let's check. Let's try to sync this repository from VS Code. Okay, so open up your VS Code. Okay, from my VS Code, I need to clone my Git repository. So click on Clone Git repository, and we have to give our repository's URL, which we can find it in our repository page. Click on this code, green button, and you will see this link that we can copy to our clipboard. So click on Copy URL to Clipboard, and back to VS Code. Click on Clone Git repository, copy that URL on the input over here, and clone from URL, click, and then select the folder that you want to sync those repository to, and let's click on select as a repository destination. Okay, and now once it's finished cloning, it will ask you, would you like to open the clone repository? Of course. Let's click on open, and here it is. We have our repository code in our VS Code. So okay, so let's go to Documents folder where I have cloned my repository. Here is my AI Translator, and always our web application, the starting point is index.html. So we're going to open this index.html file directly from our browser. Okay. There it is, language translator chatbot. Let's translate my message to Portuguese. And let's say he worked in my company for 2 years. How do I say that in Portuguese? Send. Something's wrong. So yeah, it's always unpredictable. So we have to ask Codex to make this work, right? It's always unpredictable, so this can happen. So let's go back to Codex. The message responds as the error message, please fix it. Okay, make sure we are on the right repository and click on code and see. Let's see if Codex be able to fix our problem. Okay, some changes has been made. Let's create a pull request. I don't know what the hell's going on there, so let's just try to accept the changes and see if that works. Okay, merge pull request, confirm merge. And back to VS Code, let's update our code to the recent push. So go to this source control menu and click on this tiny dot menu and click on pull. And then we will have our updates. And then let's try to reopen our application. Okay. Let's try to do the same thing again. Oh, the model text dependency has been deprecated. Learn more here. Let's keep just going back to the Codex and see if Codex can fix anything for us. We have an error. Fix it. Okay, now we have, I guess the Codex has kind of changed the model. Okay, let's see if this works. Create PR, view PR, and let's click on merge pull request, confirm merge, and let's update our local code. Go to source control, click on this dot menu, click on pull. We will have another update, and let's open up our file locally. Okay, let's try it again and see if this works. Okay, now it works. We had some certain problems here, but just by going back and forth with Codex seems to have figured it out for us. Let's try Portuguese. All right. Ele trabalhou na minha empresa por 2 anos. Okay. So that's it for today. I guess it helped. I guess you could now build your own AI wrapper for your business. And yeah, everybody, I wish everybody can be successful for their business. And that's it for today. I'll see you next time.